Whitney Houston, who died of an overdose, a drug overdose. Michael Jackson, Prince, they both died of drug overdoses. These are huge. Everyone knows these names, so there's no need for me to go into who these people are because, you know, huge icons. Hey squad, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. So before I get started, I know some of you guys might be new to Tika the Original, and I'm so glad you stopped by today. Do me a favor, please take a moment to hit that little button, the little like button. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any new videos. After you hit subscribe, if you don't mind hitting that little bell notification, that will ensure that you won't ever miss a video that I put out. Okay, so today, guys, we are talking about the importance of mental health. Yes, this is a topic that I know in my family and even in the neighborhood, the area where I grew up in, just culturally, for me and others that I know who are a part of other cultures, it's not talked about a lot. And it's unfortunate, you know, that in 2018, the topic of mental health is still stigmatized, meaning there's shame behind it. There are people who feel humiliated just to think of the fact that they could have a mental illness or a mental disorder or mental challenges. Everybody has a different label for it. And I just want to let you know that it's normal. I shouldn't say it's normal, but it's something that affects many of us. Many people experience some sort of mental illness or mental challenge throughout the year. I really just wanted to have a candid conversation with you guys about the importance of mental health. And you know, many of us will go to the doctor every year for our annual physical checkups. You know, we get our blood pressure checked, we get our eyes examined, our hearing checked. We get the whole workup, blood work and all, to make sure that we are physically fit. When mood changes and anxiety and different things that may be happening with you behaviorally are caught early on, they can be treated. And the good thing is you want to catch these things before they become very debilitating, meaning hospitalization. You don't want, you want to try to avoid getting to the point where now you have to be hospitalized because of something that could have been prevented had you caught it early on. Those are some reasons why mental health is very important. The importance of mental health is often overlooked because people just think, oh, it's just a phase and I'll be okay, or it's just something that I'm going through right now. And before you know it, sometimes that thing begins to snowball and it turns into something bigger than we can handle, bigger than we can handle on our own. So the one thing that I want you guys to know is that mental illness is treatable, okay? Not just with medication. Medication is one component of it, but there's also therapy where you can meet with a counselor, meet with a therapist, and talk through your issues. Also, another huge component of mental health is self-care. Guys, many times we can help ourselves just by what we eat and how we take care of our bodies. So if you're not a water drinker, I would suggest bumping up your water intake. Water is probably the best drink that we can have for our bodies, because it cleanses us from all of the toxins and different things that we put in our bodies that come through our food system, our food systems. It hydrates us so we can maintain proper balance. We can maintain proper hydration. Also, exercise. Exercise. You don't have to be a bodybuilder or, some person who works out like, 8 days a week. Meaning, yeah, I know there's only 7 days in a week, but you know what I'm saying. The gym rats, you don't have to be that type of person in order to be healthy. Simple, like brisk walking, weight-bearing exercises, some sort of weights in order to build muscle. These types of things are going to not only help you be physically fit, but believe it or not, they help you become mentally fit. Because there are hormones that are released during exercise called endorphins. There's also other hormones that are released. There's serotonin, there's norepinephrine, there's dopamine. All of these, I like to look at them as happy hormones. So when you're exercising, or at least after you're done, sometimes it's hard. I know for me, sometimes it's hard just to get started because I may not be feeling it that day. But usually once I get started and by the time I'm done, I'm so happy that I did it. I'm so happy. My body feels good. My mind is clear. I can concentrate and focus more, and I sleep better. And those are the good side effects of exercise. If you're depressed or have anxiety about anything, try it. Just go out and walk your neighborhood. Ask a friend to go walk with you. You have to start somewhere. And so please don't think that you have to become a gym rat and be, pumping iron all day, every day, or running a marathon of some sort in order to benefit from, to benefit mentally and physically. Okay, so there are other ways that you can take care of yourself. Sticking with the topic of the importance of mental health is by some people will meditate, others will practice yoga, anything that's calming and stress relieving. There are some who subscribe to prayer. Regardless, do something that is going to help alleviate your stress, minimize your anxiety. Drink hot tea. There's chamomile tea. There's all sorts of tea that can help calm you. One thing I've been noticing in the news lately is that they say that there's a rise in suicide rates. It's hard to say with suicide. Sometimes you know that the person had a mental illness or some mental challenges going on, and sometimes you don't know. For example, I may read in the paper or read an article online that says that someone died of suicide. They took their own life, and there was no known mental illnesses. That's a tough one. I think that sometimes, because there's still that stigma, that shame that I talked about earlier, sometimes people are suffering silently. And they may have some sort of mental illness going on. And the way that they've been coping with that is through maybe drug and alcohol use. And some people just decide, typically you don't just wake up and decide you want to take your life. Typically this is something that a person may have been thinking or contemplating off and on. And it could be for weeks, months, years. No one really knows. I read an interesting piece here in the Washington Post, and I'm just going to read a little bit. It says that nearly 45,000 suicides occurred in the United States in 2016. So I can only imagine if suicide is on the rise, that number's probably increased a bit since we're in 2018. it says this number is more than twice the number of homicides. So this makes suicide the 10th leading cause of death here in the US. And among people ages 15 to 34, suicide is the second leading cause of death. These numbers are pretty alarming. And I would say, in my opinion, and this is just me talking, that maybe some of these were related. Some of these suicides had something to do with mental health issues. That some of these individuals were probably suffering silently. Typically, if there's no suicide note left behind explaining why they did what they did, or if the person hadn't confided in a family member or a friend about what they were feeling and thinking, then really the cause and the reason is left up for, guessing. A lot of people are just guessing at this point. I think about all of the different celebrities who have lost their lives, and I think about many of them overdosing from drugs. A lot of times people are taking these drugs not just recreationally, but they become dependent upon them because they're trying to cope with something. So I just think about different celebrities like Whitney Houston, who died of a drug overdose. Michael Jackson, Prince, they both died of drug overdoses. These are huge. Everyone knows these names, so there's no need for me to go into who these people are, because, huge icons. Also, Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams, who was an actor, and he committed suicide. I'm not sure. I think I read something about he might have been battling with some sort of depression. And then there's what I just found out this morning, the rapper, I think his name is Mac Miller, and I believe he died of an overdose. And you just don't know with some, not just celebrities, but there may even be people in your life, people in your family that you know who have committed suicide or who have OD'd, overdosed on some sort of drugs, and you just never know what someone is going through. And it's so important to get your mental health checkups. If you don't get anything else from this video, I would hope that you would begin to incorporate mental health checkups in your annual routine as far as taking care of your health. See a family practitioner if you're not comfortable right away seeking out a therapist. Start with your family practitioner. Just know that there is help. There are people who are out there, professionals who are looking to be able to help you through any challenging times that you may have. Also, I'm going to make sure that I put down in the description box the phone number to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. If any of you out there are watching this video and you've contemplated suicide, or you're currently contemplating suicide, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline and get some help. There are people out there who want to help you. The number is 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-TALK. T-A-L-K. So that's it for now, guys. I hope that this video has been helpful for you. I hope that this is giving you a little bit more information about the importance of mental health. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Make sure you tell everyone you know, like, and love about my channel and all that is going on here. Until I see you on the screen in my next video, peace, love, and blessings. Out.